Lyca Dil said 10:35 sports update brought to you by TradeNext Limited, the search for an Asian football star. To join up, go on to www.tradenextsport.com/promotions/search for an Asian football star.
You are tuned into Lyca Dil say 10:35. I'm Anthony Singh, and I do have a special guest on the line. Special guest, can you tell me your name and where you're from?
Yeah, my name is Mohsin Jameel, and I'm Chief Executive of TradeNext Limited.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what have you come on Lyca Dil say to say about it? It's the Asian football championships, aren't there?
Yes, I just want to talk about the Search for an Asian Football Star campaign that we are running for last almost more than a month. And the initiative has been taken by TradeNext, which is a financial services firm based in London. Financial services firm has taken this initiative of finding the next Asian football star.
And what sort of qualities do you look for in the next search for an Asian football star candidate? What type of thing? Is it just about skill, or do they have to have manners and respect, or is it just all about attitude and things like that?
I think we're just focusing more on the attitude and stuff at the moment. We're just trying to find... we have seen that there's a lot of potential in the Asian kids, but for some reason they are not, they are not in the football as such. So we are trying to give them this platform so that they can come forward and show their talent, and probably, we can nurture them and take them to a next step of becoming a football player. And
I think it's a wonderful opportunity you're giving young Asian kids to do, because I feel that Asian kids don't have the benefits as probably some other nationalities of progressing in football in this way. So what top 3 qualities are you looking for in the next search for an Asian football star candidate?
I think what we are looking is a passion towards the football, the energy, the drive, and I think every kid have got some sort of dream somewhere that they want to become, a football player. Everybody loves sports. But the thing with our Asian community is either we are too much into one sport, which is cricket, because we are carrying that heritage from India, or the parents are pushing their kids more towards the academy, so become a doctor and an engineer. Although my kid doesn't want to become that. My kid is very good in football. So I think this initiative is sort of again, as I said, is a platform where I want to bring all those kids forward who have that aspiration of becoming a football player. Just like a couple of football players, the Asian football player like Zesh Rahman, who played for Fulham, and a couple of more. So this is basically a platform for those kids.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so you say you're the CEO of this project, aren't you?
Yes, I am the chief.
So obviously you're somebody we should be listening to. So why do you think that in India, say for example, and Pakistan and even Bangladesh have a cricket team now, why don't India have, because I think they have the resources and I'm sure they've got the talent, but why don't India have a credible football team like they do in cricket? Is cricket still the #1 sport, would you say? Or what more can be done in India, Pakistan, and for British Asians in general? Because British Asians, I think, have definitely more of a grasp on football because we're brought up in England. What more is there to progress in that way, would you think? Is there more money needed? Is there a racial thing? What do you think?
I think the trend has changed a lot in a couple of years. We have seen with the invention of IPL, like games where you can have a mix and match of the players from different countries. I think football is picking up the same way, because now football is known as the top sport in the world. But for some reason, I said India is more into cricket, because everybody from day one, they think they are fit to play in cricket, they are not fit to play in football. And football was never being a national sport in India as such.
Right.
I think with the way the sports, especially the football, is liked in Europe, we are actually now carrying that stuff back to India. So
wonderful.
That is the reason we're just trying to push forward this community, shake up a little bit and say, look, cricket is not the end of the world. There's a football as well, where you can push your kid and let them become a football player.
I think that's wonderful advice. I mean, I'm just saying, of course, in the Asian background, it is no secret, whether you are of Pakistani, of Indian origin, Bangladeshi origin, Indo-Caribbean origin, Mauritian origin, we're always being pushed to be doctors and lawyers. It is the stereotypical way of the Asian lifestyle. But what would you say, what would you do to promote British Asians? Like, there's only 2 Asian footballers I can think of. That was Michael Chopra, and his surname was Indian. I believe he's half Indian. And there was a player in the Dutch national team called Lionel Narsingh, who was of Indo-Surinamese origin. Now, why don't you think we have British Africans, we have British Hispanics, we have Rodriguez, we have all these names, but there's no like Singhs, Khans, Bhatis, Patels, these strong Asian surnames that we have. And why is that? And what more can we do? Are we concentrating too much on education, do you think?
I think there's a bit of a stereotype there in us, basically. I think probably the parents think that there is no space for the Asian kid in the football, especially in UK and Europe. and it's more dominated by the locals. It's not the case actually, but it's all about pushing the kid forward into the game, and also what I've seen is that when the child is growing up in a school, he has been he has been pushed back because the PE teacher, for some extent, saying that he doesn't have that build or he's not strong enough to play football because Asian community is sort of being recognized as a curry eater, or their appetite is not very good. They are more into they are very small in size and height and stuff like that. That's not the case. Look at the Maradona. People know Maradona, and though he's a short-heighted guy, and he was at one time he's known in entire world. He's a legend in football. So I don't think so. That's the case. But the thing is, our parents think like that. Parents think that, look, we are carrying a cultural passport with us. So, for example, if I'm a Muslim and I'm playing football, probably I have to go and drink. That's not the case. Yeah. Everybody has got their own limitation, And
that's the thing. I think there is a stereotype, and you brought that up with Indians and Asians in general and football. I do believe that we should have an education. I agree with that. But I loved where you brought up that curries. We're stereotyped as eating curries and rotis and stuff. But not many people know that a curry can be cooked very, very healthily, and you don't have to put a whole bucket of ghee in it. But this is the thing. I was comparing football to the Bollywood industry, because if we notice the Bollywood industry, a lot of them have taken under Salman Khan and Hrithik Roshan and doing a lot of weights. And you've also picked up a very valid point there that Asians tend to be either too skinny or, in my opinion, they can be too overweight because the jalebi and the ghee, and we're stereotyped that way. We're not stereotyped as athletes, so to speak. And I'm looking at the Bollywood stars and seeing how they're lifting weights and they're looking like models, really. So do you believe Asian footballers can get rid of that stereotype and start eating healthily and say, do you know what, just because I'm Indian does not mean I can't get myself in shape, does not mean I can't make it into the England national team, and maybe it's more of a psychological thing and a mental thing that we cannot be as good physically in football as well as educationally, where we are obviously known as one of the top nations in the country, well, all over the world rather.
Absolutely right. I think that the first and the foremost thing is for the parents to understand,
Yeah.
And I think also for the schools to understand that we have to give a chance to the Asian community to come forward. I mean, there's a 3 million Asian community across the UK itself we're talking about, and we can count all the players that have played or represented any club on a fingertip,
So, and that's wonderful. So what opportunities, I must go back into this because you are doing a fabulous job and it's wonderful that you put it at Wembley Arena, the home of English football, which I love. I love that freestyle Asian football is come to the home of England. So what opportunities are you hoping to gain from this for young Asian footballers? Because it's, from 10 to 18 years of age, and there's lots of talented Asian footballers, whatever background you come from, whether you're in Wembley or in Southall or, in Bradford. So what are you trying to hope to achieve out of this fantastic project?
The couple of things we want to achieve out of this. First of all, we want to bring the talent forward. Second, we have done a tie-up with the best coaching institute called Football CV. They are professionals in the market, and then they know how to nurture the young kids. So the next step is first to find who is interested in football. Okay. Third is we need to create a platform for the parents to come forward, and we have seen that interest in the last 4 campaign that we have done, right from London to Manchester. The parents are now enthusiastic and they want to bring their kids forward, so that they can bring them in football. So we just want to pick the best out of the whole thing, And once we create a history out here where once the Asian kid is recognized, and now he moved to the second stage where he's been trained by the professional scouts and trainers, and then he will be recognized one day, and that will probably relay some message back to the Asian community that, look, someone has taken the initiative. Someone has been selected now, and this will keep on moving forward. And we, as a firm, as a financial services firm, yes, we are not into sport, but we are always behind this campaign, and we'll keep on carrying forward with that. And I think it's pushing. Yeah,
I think it's a wonderful thing you're doing, because not all kids, and it is, I must say, it is stereotyped that Asians, are very clever people, and we are very clever people. But just like all nations, whether you're Indian, whether you're Italian, whether you're English, whether you're German, you will have some kids that are just not cut out for school. Whether it's laziness, whether it's just not their calling. Maybe some kids are better at manual work or whatever. And I feel sad that some kids do drop out of school and say, I can't do school. They give up and they end up drinking, doing drugs, smoking cigarettes. But I think your project is a wonderful way to challenge young kids' energy and say, do you know what, maybe school's not for me, but instead of going down the bad road, I can go and, do search for an Asian football star and channel my positive energy that way until something else comes. So even if they don't become a professional footballer, at least their energy is being challenged in a very positive way.
Absolutely. And if you look, we are not only trying to to focus on the boys, but we're also trying to focus on the girls because it's an open arena for both the gender. And if you look at a couple of movies have been made by the Bollywood, for example, Bend It Like Beckham is one of the movie which has given quite a big message to the community that look, the female wants to play football but has been stopped for some reason. Then we have one movie made on Akshay Kumar, which is Patiala House, which was actually based on Monty Panesar, who was the one guy who wanted to represent cricket here. So there has been a message now and there, but I think the community need and reinforce again and again that message, And one day I think eventually we will come up with the star, and we will see more Asian footballers actually representing some of the club.
And I think that's wonderful. I think young British Asians, doing projects like yours, Mr. Jameel, and things like that, can go back to the homeland of India, because you can see like a lot of, for example, British-born West Indians who can't make it into the English team. They go back to Jamaica and Trinidad, and they form the team there. So maybe British-born Asians can say, do you know what? I can't make it in the English team, but India can then get a football team and qualify for the World Cup and things like that, and use it all in a positive way. Because I believe finance may not be an issue. I think I just don't know how we can make football as popular as it is as cricket in Pakistan, India and Bangladesh.
Absolutely. Look, I just give you a little bit background. I think the new trend has started where India has started an Indian Super League now.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's a fantastic idea.
It is a fantastic idea, and I think we are in the right time, right place to start this campaign, because I think with the invention of the Indian Super League, you will get a chance to play in Indian League, which is owned by different tycoons in India, and the quality and the level of the team will be different altogether. So I think it's a good opportunity for Asian kid, whoever will be selected or whoever will come forward as a football player will get an opportunity to probably go and join the ISL as well. And we as a firm have a lot of aspiration behind it, and we also want to open an academy in India sooner or later, and any kid that we will pick up from UK probably be nurtured here and probably sent back to India to play or represent any football club. So there is a lot of opportunity out there. Even India is coming forward in football,
Well, I think it is wonderful. So the grand finale is the 8th of November, sir, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. The grand finale is on 8th of November at Wembley Arena.
It'll be at Wembley Arena, the home of English football, so you get a chance to see Wembley. You get a chance to... whereabouts where does this competition take place? Does it take place on the pitch itself or on the training grounds? Whereabouts does it take place?
Yeah, there's a pitches in Wembley Arena, so we have taken different pitch for different age groups. So as you know that we are selecting finalists from 4 different age groups, from 12, 14, 16 and 18. And then out of the 4, we will have 1 champion.
Right,
so this is... Yeah.
And what's your website, sir, that you can go to?
My website is TradeNextSport.com. This is the website. We have got a wild entry card as well. So apart from the people who has been selected for the final round, there is an opportunity for those who really want to come and show their talent. Once again, there's a wild card entry. So please do come to our website, sign up again for a wild card entry, and get an opportunity and chance to demonstrate in Wembley Arena on 8th of November.
Well, I think this is a wonderful, wonderful project here by Mr. Jameel, and it is pushing young British Asian footballing talent forward, and there's a chance to go to Wembley and see the home of English football. And just remember, of course, education is very important, but you don't want to go down the wrong roads of drink, drugs, and alcohol and cigarettes, and therefore projects like these are absolutely fantastic to keeping you in the straight and narrow until you sort yourself out. And you never know, you could be going back to India and starting off your own professional football team and playing in the Indian Super League, because you never know who will be around, sir. Well, Mr. Jameel, thank you very much for all your time you spent on Lyca.
And I really want to thank Lyca Radio for being a media partner and helping us out to know the community that yes, we are doing this campaign. Thank you so much once again.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you very much. You are tuned into Lyca Dilse 1035. I'm Anthony Singh. That's Mr. Jameel. We'll see you after this.
Lyca Dilse 1035 sports update brought to you by TradeNext Limited, the search for an Asian football star. To join up, go on to www.tradenextsport.com/promotions/search for an Asian football star.